Welcome
We
back.
don't even need to
I know, it's
clap.
just habit.
Hacky sack.
Welcome back. Episode 39. Ooh, it's nearly our 40th.
Nearly 40.
Oh.
Well, you're closer to 40 than I. We've discussed that multiple times.
Oh, so rude.
Every time it pops up, it just reminds me that I'm younger than you.
Just anyway, episode 39. We've got some
We can kick
interesting
back.
things
We're
to.
actually got a couch. You can kick
Oh
back.
yeah,
Yeah.
sweet. We're
Oh.
sitting down for this episode. For those of you who are listening and not watching, we always like
Wow.
to mix up our setups just to keep things different,
Look at
change it
your
up.
pink outfit. What
I am
inspired it?
in a pink tracksuit,
Mm,
and I look like a big marshmallow.
you do. Yummy,
Got some
yummy.
Ugg boots on and feeling
Cozy.
good, feeling cozy. It's winter, middle of winter in Brisbane. Brr,
It's
a
actually been pretty
cool 18
nippy.
degrees. Yeah, it gets cold at night
No,
and
I
morning.
feel like it's definitely cold.
Yeah. So, what have we been up to?
Wow, what a week. It's
What a week.
well, no, we won't share that news yet.
I know, we've
Like
got
we've
exciting
got some
news.
wild news. But we won't share it. I just noticed that in the top corner I've got the Man That Can logo. We'll leave that there for this episode. It can stay out there. I've just finished an episode with a big guy from America in Vegas.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a very interesting podcast,
What
but
does he do?
he's a hypnotist. He works
Really?
with NFL athletes, so professional athletes and business owners.
Wow.
Very interesting guy. So I'm actually, I already told you that. I made myself because I actually am a qualified hypnotherapist as well.
Oh,
Remember?
I
Yeah,
forgot
yeah,
about that.
yeah. Well, I don't. I use it.
Are you
I use it.
hypnotizing me to
I
be in love
am.
with you?
Yes, I am. It's a powerful choice you made to marry me.
Yeah.
One of the smartest choices you made, wasn't it? No, but I did do that a number of years ago, and I use it at workshops, but more for visualization to help men visualize what they want. It's a powerful thing. But anyway, I made one for myself, which I'm going to listen to tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to listen to it?
Not right now.
No, not now. It goes for like a little bit,
Okay.
but we can listen to it tonight, and you can see what I want for my life.
Okay, cool.
You're involved in it. That's
I'm glad.
yeah. Well, that's what what did we do over the weekend? I've just been training, like training the house down.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
Lockie's getting closer and closer to his
Every week we
trip
jump
to
on here.
Europe.
I'm 1 week closer.
Yep, trip
I
to Europe coming up.
actually recognised today that the Rugby World Cup's going to be on while I'm over there.
And
Well, I'm probably going
how
to
are you
catch a
gonna
game.
get how are you gonna get tickets for that? That's gonna be so
I'll get a
sought
game. It
after.
won't be like an awesome game, but I got connections.
Okay.
I got
Is that
connections.
safe? Like I get
I
really
might
worried
pull a
about going
few
to like events
strings.
with a lot of people.
No, well, yeah, and France is obviously having,
Issues.
they're having a few issues at the minute. So we'll see how we go. I think it'll be a cool experience.
Mm.
We'll see what's available or not available.
And you're going with your mum?
Yeah, taking
Does
me mum.
she like watching rugby?
Well, she'll just love the time together, I think. If
Yeah,
you're
she
listening to
will.
this, mum, she's probably going, nodding. Yeah. What else have we? What have you been up to? More importantly, what did you get up to last weekend?
Last weekend, what did I get up to last weekend?
I don't know. That's what I was
I
asking.
don't know either. It's gone. It's erased. It's
Well,
done.
I ran. So I think I saw you.
With the dry try.
Yeah. So no. That was the weekend before. Liam and I did that big trail run. We got home at like 11. You cooked us lunch. We went somewhere. Where'd we go?
To
This
the
is
movies.
riveting for
Did we go to the movies?
No.
I feel like my weekends have just been like,
your weeks.
yeah.
Life of a pop star, hey?
I haven't been like going out or doing anything that exciting.
You go for dinners or anything?
Yeah, we went to.
There we go. Prompted with a bit of food and she's fired up.
We actually went on a really nice date night to Rothwell's, which is in Brisbane City.
Oh, we did. How did we not open with that?
It's delicious. Like we had a beautiful
Oh my
steak
goodness.
and some oysters.
And what was that burger we had to? It was like a pulled.
You.
Yeah, we. Let's just. It's a pulled
It was a beef cheek.
beef
Like a
cheek. It
pulled
was a
beef
bit
cheek,
cheeky,
but it was schnitzel, right?
and it was on white bread.
Yeah, so it was like in Wonder White with like.
Oh, and sometimes the
mayonnaise.
most simple bread is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And they accidentally brought out 2, so I pounded the. Look. I'm not going to lie. I was pretty impressed with how much I ate. I'm not like. Would you consider me a big eater?
Oh yeah, kind of.
But I don't
You're a
eat
bloke.
regularly.
Yeah, like you're not really a foodie, so you could go hours without eating.
Yeah, like I normally do.
noticed.
I don't think I eat a lot, like in the grand scheme of the day.
No, probably not.
But this meal Holy shit. I was literally sitting there when we've put knife and fork down. I was like, I'm actually genuinely impressed with myself right now. I have never, I did. So I did two of those beef cheek burgers. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's normally, a meal.
Yep.
Then we did the steaks. We had two steaks.
We had pate,
We had pate. We had oysters. I had a bowl of fries to myself. We had salad. We had
carrots.
carrots, and we had dessert, the millionaire cake, which is
I
pretty much
know.
like a caramel cake.
I'm naughty. How
And
was it?
legitimately, I was just really impressed. I was tired.
Yeah, it
I was
was.
full, but I was
Oh my god, it
impressed.
was so good because I've been doing this stupid gut cleanse thing. I wasn't really meant to have it, but I did, and it
You
was
did
just
anyway.
like
Oh,
so good.
yeah, so delish,
That was
delish.
definitely, obviously, the highlight of my
Oh,
week.
fair dinkum.
But yeah, we've been doing lots of shepherdy things. We've got a gig tomorrow with Kiss FM, and we're going to be playing at a
I thought
school, like a
Kiss FM
primary
standard
school.
for Kiss for me.
KIIS.
FM for me.
So yeah, we're going to be playing at a primary school tomorrow, which is going to be lots of fun. Get to see some kiddos and make them smile.
Nice.
And yeah, lots of exciting gigs coming up for Shepherd. So if you're a big Shepherd fan, stay
What a time to
tuned.
be
And if you're
alive.
an Amy Shepherd's fan, stay
Stay tuned.
tuned.
And if you're a Lachlan Stewart fan, geez, I'm just pumping stuff out every week, so
I
you
mean,
never have
maybe
to
I
wait
should
too long.
drop like the Amy Shepherd news for the podcast listeners.
Do it.
So I'm currently working on doing two shows, but I haven't announced them yet because we're still sorting some things out with the dates and the venues. But one shows in Brisbane and one shows in Sydney. So that's coming up. Stay tuned. Keep your eyes
Am I
peeled for
coming?
that. Yeah, if you want to.
You gonna pay for me to come?
Sure. I need a tour manager, so
All right, I'll be there. I can do it.
yeah. So that's some exciting news for you guys.
That's very, very
Mm,
exciting for you and for us and for the fans.
yeah.
Awesome.
So should we get into our main
Let's
topic
get into
today?
our main topic. I recognize what we need to do at the beginning of it is tell people what we're actually going to talk about. Like give them a bit
Yeah.
of a,
Okay.
almost like a little
Rundown.
hype up to get
Yeah,
people
that's true. We
engaged.
should. We
I
should.
learned that I'm doing, I don't even know, need to go into detail with that. But anyway, I'm learning things.
Okay.
And I think that's a great idea. But anyway,
Um,
you hit it, darling.
so Lockie sent me this article the other day, and it was about Jonah Hill. Right? He's
Look,
been in
I'm
the
a big
news
fan of
lately.
Johnny Hill.
So am I.
And
My
his
heart.
latest documentary or movie,
Stutz. That was good. I really liked
really
it.
clever, really well done.
The boy's obviously done a lot of therapy because
We all
he
fucking
needs
should, to be
it.
honest.
But I don't know whether you guys saw what the story was about. Basically, for some reason, his ex has come out and released all of these texts between them, and it's not looking good for poor old Jonah. Unfortunately,
You got a boner to pick with Jonah.
he um, allegedly, from the text that we've seen, um, has been like told his girlfriend to delete her photos. So she's a pro surfer, right? And on her Instagram page, she had shock horror photos of her surfing. And when you're surfing, what do you wear?
Mm.
Like
Or bikinis,
bikinis or like a.
board
I
shorts.
think one of the photos she was in a wetsuit, but like
Yeah.
it didn't
Oh,
have legs.
yeah, just the top.
Yeah, and like she was bending
Oh,
down, like doing
rashy.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a top, but not the bottoms.
Yep.
And he there was this text from him being like, I have boundaries, and for me to trust someone, I need you to delete these photos of you surfing. And there was like, and then stop talking to other male surfers. And there was a list of all of these
Yeah.
quote unquote boundaries. And it was a bit shocking, really, because these boundaries were not boundaries at all. These were ultimatums.
Yeah. When I first saw the article, I was like, because whatever the headline was that I read was like about Jonah enforcing boundaries. I was like, and obviously my first thought was that documentary Stutz, and he was talking or showing his experience in therapy, and I was like, fair play to him. Like, if you have boundaries, it's important to
Mm.
make sure that you share those with your partner. So if they ever are crossed, you can communicate them. But then obviously you read further and you see how it was, and I think that's the problem with. Well, it's not necessarily a problem. I think everyone has boundaries. I think it's important to talk about them, but then if you go further than that and try and control people, it's a different. It's not boundaries. It's like
No.
you're trying to make someone fit into your role, and that's where it's important with communication to be like, okay, well, these are my boundaries. Where do you sit with that? Are you comfortable with that or
Mm.
are you not? Because it's compromise.
But that's not a boundary at all. Like saying delete this photo because
No, yeah, of
I'm
course,
uncomfortable with your ass on.
yeah, of course. But I feel I'll play devil's advocate.
Mm.
Is for example, if you're someone who has low self esteem,
Hmm.
which a lot of people do,
Yeah.
poor confidence, and maybe you do have
Trust issues.
insecurities and trust issues, which I've had in the past, so I can understand that it may be hard for you to see someone that you love and you're dating on social media getting all the validation and attention because it's like when I first met you, I was very jealous and insecure. And then when I've shared it heaps of times, but when
Mm.
you guys were signing with Scooter Braun, I was like, well, that's me going. She's going to piss off with some pop star or whatever, whoever.
Yeah.
And that was a projection of mine. It had nothing to do with you. It was my own
Exactly.
insecurities. But
That's Jonah's problem.
yeah, but that's what I mean, though. I don't know, where am I going with this? I need to bring it back around to defend myself here. She just debunked me.
No, just as devil's
No, but I
advocate.
think
Yeah.
so with those things, it's like, okay, well, do you want to support your partner through that stuff? I don't think I ever did any
Uh,
controlling shit, did I? I don't think.
no.
But I can understand, I can appreciate where he's coming from. Because, people comment on your stuff and go, oh, she's hot. Blah, blah, blah," and I'm like, I don't give a stuff now. But back in the day, when I was insecure and jealous, that would have frustrated me. And so the easiest solution, the thing that I would have had control over would have been to say, Amy, take that down. Not that I ever
Mm.
did that, but I can understand why he thinks that's a
Yeah, you can
solution.
understand his feelings, but
Yeah.
that's
But
like
it's also the way he's going about it is very controlling.
it's wrong and
Yeah.
it's manipulative. And she did, and she conformed to him because obviously she knew his insecurities and wanted
Mm.
to make sure he was happy.
But then it
Um,
wasn't still enough.
yeah, and so she deleted all the photos. And she's a pro surfer, like that's what
You do.
you do and you share.
Well, social media is a big part. I think, but I think the important thing is why we all do need to work on ourselves. Like if
Mm.
you, everyone has jealousies, I still get it. We all have shit, but
I know,
the
but it's also good for girls to see like what control is and how it
of
can people
course,
can be manipulated really easily. Because I've definitely dated jealous boyfriends who were controlling and used that type of wording and manipulation to make me delete things or not go to things that I want to go to.
yep,
And I wish that I knew the difference between like boundaries or
yeah, of course,
or just like ultimatums being like, if you do this, I'm breaking up with you. It's like, oh my god, like I
yeah,
don't want
and
to lose
I
this
think
person in my
from
life.
yeah from for you, then the flip side is understanding what your boundaries are, and something for that is
Mm.
like, well, this is my career, this is how I choose to express myself, and one of my boundaries is I'm allowed to do that without feeling like I'm doing something wrong for doing that.
Yeah.
And I think once again, like when you have boundaries on both sides, and you quite often, it's not always the case, but quite often men are predominantly the controlling figure in a relationship. Not always, but let's just use that for this example.
Mm.
Um, for women who've, depending on their experiences, etc., when they are really assertive in who they are, and they maybe have a stronger support network or whatever it may be, they can enforce those boundaries a lot better than
Mm.
potentially if you might be living in a town away from your family, away from your support network, so you feel like, okay, well, this is the one person who's supposed to care about me, who's supposed to
Exactly.
love me, so yes sir, I'll do as you
Yeah.
say. And then once you give an inch, you generally give a mile as well. You hear a
And
lot
it's
of
also
stories.
hard when you're, maybe she's not as famous as Jonah, so she's like there's a bit of a power imbalance. Like
It's
maybe
like
she's
us.
in love, in love with this guy, and
It's like
she.
I gotta, you know what I mean,
Mm.
not as famous as you.
Anyway, he has been cancelled for this.
I don't think he should be cancelled. Look, I think we all make mistakes. Like I hate cancel. What do you think about cancel culture?
Yeah,
I think it's
I'm
bullshit. Like everyone who's listening to this,
but I
you
can
have made a
understand it.
mistake before.
Yeah, but it's like I think some people should be cancelled. You know, like Harvey Weinstein, you know.
Oh, obviously, but
Yeah, I
like,
mean, I definitely think that cancel culture has taken like a
mm,
step too far. Everyone's just trying to cancel people left, right, and center. And these were personal text messages that were brought into the public,
it was
which is kind of
terrible.
weird. I don't know. I don't know about that
But
either. But
even like in the self help space has a lot of growing up to do as well. I believe I'm in it, and there's a lot of stuff that I cringe about. But even for example, boundaries. When someone goes, "These are my boundaries," I'm like,
yeah,
you don't have to go about it just because it's a new word you've learned or something that you've recently come across or you saw a TikTok about. Doesn't mean you now have to tell someone all of these boundaries in an argument, as it's almost like you're,
in a therapy
yeah,
session.
in a therapy session, but it's also like you're superior because you now know your boundaries.
Yeah. And he was
And
like using his
yeah,
therapy
the
to like flip it
yeah,
on her
to make,
and
yeah, to put
manipulate
him
her.
up on a, like,
I've done the work. I've done the
correct,
therapy. I know
correct.
what I'm talking about.
I hate people who, and I've been guilty of it. I call it the personal development ego, where you feel like because you're investing in yourself and you're overcoming trauma and all of this sort of stuff that people do, you feel like you are superior. And you look at people who aren't doing that kind of work and you're like, I'm better than you. I did that for ages, probably still do to a degree. But I also now recognize it's like everyone needs to do their own thing. And just because I've learned more about this doesn't mean I should belittle someone because they haven't done that.
Mm,
Because you flip the headset over and they've done stuff that you haven't done.
exactly.
So it's interesting. I think it's
Poor old
important to talk
Jonah.
about, but I don't think he should be cancelled because he's done like that therapy movie is one of the most brilliant films to, especially for men to watch in order
Mm,
to see what it's like to go to therapy and the apprehension that like that in itself is a masterpiece. Like I believe
yeah.
it's amazing. So he's done so many amazing things as well, but it's just like we need to be called on that.
And the other thing is, I don't know when these text messages happened. Do you?
Mm, mm-mm.
I'm sure maybe it's out
I'm
there.
not an investigative journalist. I
Maybe it
just,
is out there, but maybe he's done work since then.
well,
You
maybe that
know?
was pre
Yeah,
Stutzi.
exactly. So anyway, let's move on for poor old Jonah. I'm still a
Oh,
fan.
I'm a fan.
Really love what he has
We don't
done.
condone his
Do not
behavior,
no. And
but
I hope that he works through it and realizes that that is actually
yeah,
abusive behavior.
I think he will. I think he's smart enough to recognize that.
And I'm glad the conversation's being had around the world right now about what is abusive and what's not.
Mm.
Anyway,
And no, let's not go down the rabbit hole. But what do you got for us now?
well, what is my rent on Reddit story this week? I think it's like in the same vein.
Oh, go back to
Um,
that one. What was that one? Amy's picking and
yeah,
choosing
I've got a
here.
few.
What was?
Okay, no. This is funny. This
Okay,
one's funny. Okay,
I saw one that said affair in it, and I was like, maybe Amy's reading up about having an affair.
there's a few stories that I've screenshot.
Okay,
This
okay.
one's not really funny. It's actually like kind of serious, but it's a little bit more. It's funny because it's relatable. So, I, 26-year-old male, cannot handle my girlfriend, 25 female, when she's on her period.
I shouldn't. Should I laugh? I don't know whether how I'm going to be received
He
then.
goes, just a disclaimer. Firstly, I'm aware for any woman, this is generally a shitty thing to deal with anyway, and I really don't want to cause offense to anyone. I've been with my girlfriend for just over 2 years. It's been mostly great, and we've had our fair share of arguments, which I think most of the time could have been avoided. I love her, but God, she's fiery. She doesn't have many bad traits or bad habits, and she's definitely fiery and hot headed and can switch her mood extremely quickly over anything, which is pretty much the cause of any argument. We're like yin and yang because I'm the complete opposite, very calm and laid back. Anyway, unfortunately, during that time of the month, yeah, she can be absolutely unbearable.
Feisty.
I never do anything to purposely wind her up, regardless because of how she is personality wise. But when she's on her period or about to be, it's like she wants to argue and bite my head off over everything. She can be messy, for example, if she's left a dirty plate on the counter and I ask her to clean it up. She says, "Stop getting onto me, or you clean it up if it's bugging you that much." And that's on her tame side of things. We've had a huge argument today. She's coming on her period because she was telling me about a music event coming up with a secret act due to turn up. She was explaining who she thinks it could be. And I asked a question saying something like, "Ah, cool. How do you know it's that artist and not X instead?" And it caused World War III. I got accused of always questioning her and not believing her, and she just absolutely flipped on me. Anyway, I will try and just make this long story short. I love her, but too often I feel like I'm walking on eggshells. Um,
Mm.
it's mountains out of molehills, but constantly, and it's been happening way too often recently. Like she has no way of controlling herself sometimes. For added context, if it helps, she's on no form of birth control.
Does that
So,
help?
it can, yeah, with PMS and all that.
I'm totally checked out. Well, look, what was that podcast we spoke about it on here where you need to learn your partner's cycle? But I feel like that
Mm.
I look, and it's hard for me to say because I don't experience that with the hormone changes. But for me, it always still comes down to some level of respect if you feel like you're walking on eggshells.
It's not
Mm.
a good place to be for your relationship, and I know what it's like. PMS is horrible, and it's just constant. If you're not on birth control as well, it's like every single month. Two, like you have 4 weeks, right, in your cycle,
Hmm.
and 2 of those weeks, for me personally, I feel like shit. Like the week before my period, it's like you get so tired, you get moody,
You're not
and
too bad. I don't find you too
I don't
bad.
think I'm too bad. But I feel
Yeah,
where she's coming from because it's just like that's half of your life
literally.
that you're feeling not yourself. And yeah,
It's
you
like a
just you
FIFO worker.
and I go to the gym and I'm literally like on the ski machine. I'm like one. Oh, like it really feels like you're hungover
Yeah.
for those 2 weeks. So
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe she needs to see a doctor about some or nutritionist
My
or naturopath because there's many things that you can do to maybe alleviate some symptoms. And I understand like she might not want to go on birth control for
yeah.
multiple reasons, but there are things that you can do to help relieve some of that
Yeah.
PMS.
It's like if it is an issue that you're reaching out to Reddit and you're feeling like you're walking on eggshells, regardless of whether it's around PMS or whatever it is, it's an issue in the relationship.
Yeah.
You can't avoid it. So you need to work out how to have a conversation and figure out potential solutions to test out.
Yeah. And have some what's the word?
I don't know. I don't even
Just
know.
some like yeah, like solutions that you can turn to and some
Yeah.
or maybe even like couples therapy could help, you know? Things that you can do to just make life easier around those couple
Mm,
of months.
yes.
Anyway,
Good.
that's my
I
story.
like it. Bang it.
Okay.
PMS. Can you hit
Speaking
that big
of
red button over
PMS,
there? I reckon you get it.
pet
So loud.
peeves.
Boom, boom, boom. Scissors, paper, rock. Who's going first? Scissors,
Scissors,
paper,
paper,
rock.
rock.
Scissors,
Scissors,
paper,
paper,
rock.
rock. Ah, shit.
You go
Lucky
first.
one. Um,
It's normal.
my pet peeve is like, why do you go to the gym for so long?
What?
You go to the gym for 2 hours every day.
What do you?
And I don't
What do you
understand.
mean?
It's not really a pet peeve. I'm just like, what are you doing there? Why
I'm a
does it take so
professional
long?
athlete.
Yeah, but
Why do you play guitar for 2 hours a day?
I don't.
Well,
But I
you
should.
should. That's my point.
But I want to know what are you doing? Because I
I do you
would
want me to?
struggle
Do you
to
want me
fill
to?
the hour in.
Yeah, but
I'm like, okay, I roll for 15 minutes. And by the time I do my program, cool, that's half an hour and I'm
okay.
gone.
I don't want to state the obvious, but I'm going to state it just, and I don't want this to come across in a mean way because it's not intended that way. Our fitness levels and our fitness goals are very different.
I'm fit.
No, you're extremely fit. However, I am fit in many modalities,
Okay.
meaning many different
Okay,
things.
Arnie.
So, no, I'm not. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm terrible at that. But you have to invest time in those things. So I stretch.
Mhm.
I then sauna, ice bath.
At the beginning of your session.
No, this is just what I do in my time.
Yeah.
Okay, I train. I then do my aerobic pieces because I have to do longer.
When you say you train, what
Like
do you
I'll
do?
do whatever the session may be. So some days
Weights?
it's weight training or strength training. Then it might be a circuit.
Mhm.
And
And
then
then you train your mouth.
chin your
Chitter
mouth,
chatter, chitter
chin
chatter, chitter
chin.
chatter. Yeah.
Anyway, and then I'll do whatever the long form aerobic piece is at the end. Just takes time.
And then
And you also when you're doing strength training, you have like 3 to 5 minute rests in between.
mhm.
And then when you're going from part A to part B, you don't just do that. You have to rest and recover so you're in the right energy system.
Right. And it does take a little while to like swap the weights over
Now
and
you're catching my drift.
kiss Bradley on the lips and
She's jealous. Don't be jealous. Look, I'm stoked I get to train. I would
no,
train more. I will
I
train more.
I understand. I understand you're a
Well,
professional, but I just wanted to know exactly what's going
well,
on for
okay.
two
Well, you
hours.
can start guitaring more.
I practiced today.
Yeah, well,
I
not two
actually
hours.
I did a good solid hour today.
That's my pet peeve for you. Kidding. My pet peeve is this, and this is actually something that's been bugging me, and I haven't said it to Amy yet. So this is the first time she's going to have heard this. But
Okay.
upstairs, right? Because we're all living in the same house at the moment, Emma's room's down the end. Then we've got our room, and it's just so dark. And I am someone who loves natural light. No, and look, Liam and I get up very early, so we can't open the blinds or do anything like that. You go upstairs like at lunchtime, and it's pitch black. You're like, come on. When
I'm
you
not
get
in
up,
bed at that point.
no, you're not. But when you get up, just open the blinds, let some light through, man. Like, let it through.
Why? No one's in there.
No, but just let the light through. It's good
Why?
for health. It's just good for your mood. You walk in and see the sun, and you're like, I feel good. You know, it's like
I don't
when
even
you,
think about it. I just like get out of
yeah,
bed and then I'm
I
gone.
trust me. You do it, your mood will be 10 times better. Maybe that's some advice for the lady.
Okay. Get some more
Natural
natural
light.
light,
I'm
even if you're not in there.
because when you walk up into a dark room, like,
It's
oh,
like
it's
an energy thing.
cold. Yeah,
It
it's
is
like
cold
a rainy
upstairs.
day as opposed to a sunny day. Which one gives you more energy? A fucking sunny day.
Oh, it's
There you
true.
have it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, well, that's enough from us. Don't
All
forget
right.
to like, share, subscribe, do all of the other things. Anything else?
We've got Patreon as well. If you want to see this video, we always post it first to Patreon, and we have a little community going in there. So, yay!
Yay. Awesome. Hooroo.
Hooroo!